Okay, here we are in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Riverside Theater, getting ready for the Empire Strips Back, which is a great production here. And I am with the creator, and your name?
Russell Beattie.
And I'm with
Neven Connoly.
Neven Connoly, who's playing Han Solo for tonight. And well, let's first hear, how did this whole concept start?
So it started a bit of a joke many years ago, probably about 2011 now. And yeah, we did it as a joke because we're doing very serious shows at that point, and we wanted to do something light and keep burlesque interesting for us because we'd been doing it for a while. And we expected to do one night, but it just kind of kept selling out and growing, and now in 8 years later, we're touring the world with a Broadway-sized production.
And this was, and you're from Australia.
Yeah, this started in Sydney, Australia, where most of the cast is from. And yeah, we kind of are taking baby steps to enter the North American market. And by far, the current tour we're on is the biggest tour we've done so far.
Okay. Has George Lucas seen this yet?
I don't know. It's one of those things. I always have to say we're not affiliated with Lucasfilm or Disney with our production. But yeah, we've been around for a while and gone viral a bunch of times, so I'm pretty sure everyone's aware that we exist.
Maybe for those who I haven't seen the show, what will they expect to see?
So basically, it is a burlesque show, so there is that element to the show. It's more of based on a comedy aspect. So you'll get laughs, you'll get just pure, 2 hours of pure escapism. We have singing, dancing, circus acts, you name it, puppets, everything. We just basically want people to forget their worries for 2 hours and, go back to a time where Star Wars films were just a simple escape for people, and kind of that's the thing we try to offer is with our Star Wars version of Star Wars is just people can fall into the world for a couple of hours and forget about everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now, how did you get involved in this production?
Well, I know Chewbacca. The man playing Chewbacca and I go a while back, and we were dancing around. Russell approached James, Chewbacca, and asked who he'd like as a Han Solo.
Well, to be fair, Neven's skipping a bit. He actually was a fan of the show before he was in the show. He actually came to see the show the year prior to actually joining the cast.
Yeah, because I love Star Wars, always loved dancing. So I saw it in Newtown, Sydney, the year before I joined. So when I heard that there was a chance I'd be involved, it was very exciting, and I could imagine it as I'd seen it before. But yeah, that was 2015, so 4 years ago now I joined. There's a few cast members that were there even before I was as well.
So you must get a lot of response from the fans and the people watching this.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's mainly Star Wars fans, and I can understand because I'm just like them and I was just like them in the audience. But yeah, dancers as well, because I'm very connected to the dance community around Australia, and a lot of them ask kind of what this is, because there's not heaps of dance work around Australia. It's growing slowly. So for this to be doing as well as it is doing, it's definitely attracted some attention. A lot of people have been asking me about it, and it's a really positive thing for the industry as well, I find.
Yeah, absolutely. And then not only the dancing, but you got the lighting and the puppetry in it. It's all coming together. Did that come at the first concept, or did it grow along the way?
Everything grew along the way, but we always had the same intention with the integrity of the show. That's same. We've been basically we developed our skill set along with the show. So as we've got better craftsmen and better performers and whatnot, the show's got better. But we've always pushed ourselves to provide the best version of the show we could, whether it's in a small 100-seat theater or whether it's on the big stage in North America. It's just one of those things that it's constantly changing and developing and getting it fine-tuning. When we started, we didn't have things like R2 or 6 tons of lighting or whatnot. So for us now to kind of be happy and rest on our hard work, that's not going to happen every tour. We add something new or refine it.
And there's humor, and like you said with burlesque shows, there's also a humor aspect to it too. So everybody comes with just a fun show.
Yeah, especially for us. And I have to point out, we are a burlesque show, but we also wanted to pivot away of what burlesque was becoming, which, a lot of people associate a certain aesthetic with burlesque. And we kind of pivoted away from that with, no kind of stage names. We only use our real names. We make it more about the characters than the actual performers. And things like we don't use fans, feathers, big band music, nothing like that. We want to evolve the kind of format of burlesque and use a lot of contemporary ideas. Not to take anything away from the burlesque scene out there, but we just want to do something a little bit different.
Well, this is gonna be neat. I like the art too. It's just so exact with that. So you really perfected it.
Well, we do. He's got a few unique accessories which only our version has.
Really?
So he has a high-powered strobe light right here, and he can actually make it rain with $101 bills.
Oh. This is going to be really, really neat. Probably people have been asking, then what's next? Well, is this from the classic trilogy? And then, so do you think you'll expand from that or just more focused?
Well, we focus on the classic trilogy because that's the one what everyone loves. It's, the palette for sci-fi and fantasy and pop culture has evolved quite a lot. You have things like, Game of Thrones and, even Star Trek has evolved quite a lot since it originally aired. But the original Star Wars films, kind of everyone loves them, as opposed to the modern ones and the prequels, which are quite divisive, and we don't want any divisive. Our show's about people coming together, so we kind of stick to the original three, and also just from a point of view of kind of playing the gags, like everyone knows those original characters, so for us to parody them, or it's easier for us. Yeah, the fact that everyone knows what those characters represent and who they are, so it's a lot easier for us to tell the gag.
Yeah, absolutely. With this being the Star Wars week, the Star Wars celebration, I gotta ask, since you're a Star Wars fan, what do you think of this trailer or this last Star Wars movie?
I'm really into it.
Okay.
This guy showed me as soon as it came out. I'm pretty sure he's onto it. I'm a big fan of the little laugh at the end, and that's got people talking.
I do want to point out that if anyone doesn't know, the laugh at the end he's referring to, everyone's saying it's Emperor Palpatine. Yeah. Neven actually also plays Emperor Palpatine in the show.
That's true.
Really? This is going to be really neat. You talk about Game of Thrones, too. Do you think you'll expand to another franchise like Lord of the Rings, Crocodile Dundee, something like that?
Never Crocodile Dundee. But we already have done a Game of Thrones show. Oh. Yeah, we have. It's called Dames of Throne, if anyone wants to check that out. We've also done a Batman show. We've also done, that was more of a vaudeville 1920 show. We've also done Wizard of Oz. We've done tons, but the next version of the show we'll be doing a burlesque parody is Ghostbusters. Oh, excellent. I was just waiting for the technology to catch up with our ambition.
Great. Well, once again, we thank you for coming to Milwaukee. If anyone wants more information about this show, is there a website people can...
Yeah, it's simple. It's just the name of the show, EmpireStripsBack.com.
Well, once again, it's going to be an excellent show. Thank you so much for coming to Milwaukee, and thanks so much for talking with us today.
No, thank you.